Good morning, beloved. This is Pastor Rodney Adams, Big Calvary Baptist Church, with a moment of meditation. So I shared with you during our last moment of meditation that what God desires for us is that we learn how to be good stewards of our time. That God does not want you nor I to become procrastinators. We shared last time that the definition of procrastination is to put off for tomorrow what we should be able to get done today. Paul spoke in Philippians chapter 1, verse 9 through verse 11. And I pray that your love may abound yet more and more in knowledge and in all judgment, that you may approve things that are excellent. You may be sincere and without offense till the day of Christ, being filled with the fruits of righteousness, which are by Jesus Christ, unto the glory and praise of God. What Paul was saying now is that we should be circumspect, we should be diligent to evaluate the things that we decide to give our attention and our time to, so that when we give our time to something, we're giving our time to something that adds value, something that improves things, something that helps us to move forward and to glorify God. You see, 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 31 teaches us that whether therefore we eat or drink or whatsoever we do, we are to do all to the glory of God. You see, whenever we truly begin to contemplate the many issues and challenges of our day, we can usually come up with the statement when we begin to look at all that we have to do, that there's just not enough time in a day. But beloved, have you ever stopped to think about the fact that time never changes? That no matter how you do the math, there are always only 24 hours in a day. And sometimes we try to put off for tomorrow. God expects us, or what we know we should get done today. But Jesus tells us in Matthew chapter 6, verse 34, take therefore no thought for tomorrow, for the morrow shall take thought for the things of itself. Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof. Jesus is telling us, don't focus on tomorrow, focus on the time you have today. Get done what you need to get done today. But you see, as long as we only look at the effects of what we're doing, we miss the root cause of why we can't get things done. For as long as we only think about the lack of time that we have, and that's the effect, we miss the root of the problem that creates our lack of time. You see, none of us can stop time because time can't be managed. And so what we have to do then is to begin to discover what lies at the root of our ability to control the amount of the time that we have in each day. Beloved, the basic element of time is not a minute, an hour, or a second, but an event. Let me say that again. The basic element of time is not a minute, an hour, a second, or an event. An event is something that happens. It's what we do. It's what the things that we're involved in, how we're spending our time, the activities that we are engaged in any moment of time. And nobody questions this often, but what we have to begin to question is not why we don't have enough time, but ask ourselves the question, how are we spending our time? You see, our problem is that we allow the events of our lives to manage us. We spend more time doing things that are less important, and therefore we don't give the appropriate amount of time to things that are necessary or the things that matter most in our lives. And when we give our attention to busy things, easy things, and we don't really spend time on the things that matter the most, the things that are the most precious, most important, and most valuable in our lives, it creates a frustration, which leads to more stress, and then generally causes us to make that statement, I just don't have enough time. What we have to learn to do is to manage the control of how we use our time. to use restraint, to be intentional, to be direct, to exercise influence over how we use our time. And what that means is that when we are looking to do certain things, we have to ask ourselves the question, is this worth my time today? Is this the most important thing I need to get done? You see, unless we choose to manage our time wisely, then our time will manage us. We can spend time fretting over the weather, over what other people think, over what other people's actions are, and we don't have any control over any of those things. But what we do have control over is what we do with our own time in our own lives. You see, the truth of the matter is there are always going to be things that just come up in life, things that will cause us to need to make a decision. And those are things that we don't have any control over. We have to just roll with it. We have to just get it done. We have to choose, examine it, accept it, adapt it, and move on. You can't spend time worrying about those kinds of things because you can't change them. But what you can change is how you spend your time. Now, how we use our time begins to develop habits in our lives. And as we develop habits, if we don't control those habits will control us. When we choose and develop habits in our lives, ways that we use our time without thinking about, is that the most important thing? Is that the most valuable thing? Is that the most urgent thing? Then those things eat up our time. And when we get to the end of a day, we're frustrated because we really didn't spend time doing what we really should have done. I want to dig a little deeper in this. So let's come back together during our next moment of meditation. It's a moment of meditation. I'm Pastor Adams. Think about it.